know you appreciate that.
I don't put
Probably
deodorant.
get
I never wear deodorant.
Are you really one of those people?
Yeah, I don't wear deodorant.
Yeah, my
I shave
sis-
my armpits too, which is weird, but
Oh, that's actually not that weird.
My
I know a lot
sister's
of
like
guys who do
that. My sister's like that. She's like, oh, it's better for you if you don't wear
it
deodorant.
is way better for you. It's terrible what's in the deodorant. I'm serious.
Yeah, that's what I
You should
hear.
make your own
But
if you're gonna wear it. But
some people
even then, I
need
don't
it
wear
though.
Some people do need it, but they should make their own at least.
Yeah,
No, it's
true.
true though. A lot of guys do with funk by shaving, like they shave their nuts, like.
Oh yeah, that's better. Anyway, of course.
Yeah, true.
Shit.
Yeah.
All right, let's go for it. All right, so you guys parted ways with John for one album, and you have him back again as producer.
Oh yeah, that was
I think it was just artwork, right?
just artwork.
Just
Yeah.
artwork. So what is it about like John's production qualities that you think just like make for the used sound?
You know, John and Bert work really well together. You know, John is he's a very interesting guy. You know, I've known him for so long now. I was terrified of him for years.
That kind of interesting.
He's a very good guy. He's a good guy. I like John a lot. And we've become more friends over the years since then. I think the best thing about him is how he works with Bert, really.
That's important.
That is pretty important to have a producer and a singer like mesh together.
That
really
click.
well. He pushes Bert to do things, you know what I mean?
That he doesn't want to do necessarily, but he thinks
just,
should.
You know, here's what I think. The best thing about a producer, not just John, but a producer in general, is the outside opinion. You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
we're all stuck here
Feedback.
focusing on the band, focusing on the music, focusing on writing, knowing what we do. We all play a certain way. And it's sort of hard to be like, I play this way. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, if you did this, it would sound better. You know what I mean? So it's nice to have whatever the producer is come in and have that complete outside opinion. And John looks at music completely different than we do. You know what I mean? 100% completely different.
Well, how so? Like, what's different about his way versus your way?
It's kind of hard to explain. It's his style of recording and his style of mixing and his style of everything. You know what I mean? We're very like organic and messy. You know what I
hit it
mean?
hard
Like,
and,
we
like,
want it to be. We want it to sound real, like it just happened. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's hard to get into. Feldman's very clean and neat and wants things to be very cleaned up and organized, and we want it to be a mess. You know what I mean? We want feedback that is not supposed to be there. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I think that's why it works out well when we record together, is because we're both fighting for our side to win. You know what I mean? Like, we want more mess and more feedback and more of that, and he wants it more clean, and you know?
So that would be why in 2004 Billboard called you like kind of riding the line between. I wouldn't say they said selling out. I think they
That's all right.
said they said straddling the line between credibility and mainstream success. Maybe that's why.
That could be it, yeah.
'Cause it's Feldman
Feldman's
versus
more
you
of a
guys.
mainstream, and we're more of an underground, and that fight together is what that's kind of. I don't want to say where our sound came from, because that's not true. Because before him, our record. I don't know if you've heard our demo. We have a demo record that has.
Is it 801? Is that the demo?
Yeah, that might be what it's called. I don't know if it really had a name, but I think it got turned into
They
that.
called it 801.
And that you can hear. We have a definite sound. It's
Yeah.
just it's maybe a little too messy.
Well, that just sounds like you're in a punk club somewhere
Yeah,
in the
totally.
basement.
You know, and then that's where Feldman came in and made it a little pretty, and that's kind of where things turned. You know, what I mean, that's almost like a turning point in our career. Now that I think about it,
Yeah, you had 2 gold records.
worked out pretty well. Yeah.
This is the
Especially
gold
when
record
nobody
tour.
buys records.
Yeah.
Nobody buys records. How are you handling that? Like as a band, is that
It's
changing
crazy.
the
Like
landscape?
well, it's funny because our record, the first record, has been at 900,000, like almost platinum. Because platinum's a million. 900,000 since it came out. You know what I mean? But people are still buying that record. But that's what I'm saying. It's 15 years later. Even though we're doing these really good tours, not enough people have bought the first record to make it go
To make
platinum,
it like
because
right there.
but everybody's coming to the shows, which is totally cool. I say steal a record, go to Walmart, steal everything you can from Walmart.
Walmart
Doesn't matter.
sucks.
Because fuck Walmart.
Fuck
Yeah,
Walmart. If it's a mom and pop, don't steal it.
Yeah.
Go to Walmart and steal it. Yeah, but,
So it's not about stealing from you guys, it's about stealing from the outlet.
yeah, and you're not. I mean, if you're taking it offline and you can afford it, do that. I mean, whatever. You know what I mean? Come to the shows. I'd rather kids steal our record than not come to a show.
Do you think it's ironic that like the bigger artists are the ones that get more offended by theft than like regular artists who are actually trying to eat? Is that crazy?
Yeah, I think it's tough, right? Because it's like, it's really tough. I don't know if it's an ego thing. I haven't talked to anybody that's bigger that has a problem with it, you know what I mean? And maybe we're the opposite because we're push people to steal it a little bit, which isn't, labels really don't like that so much, oddly.
Didn't Taylor Swift like go after pirating?
probably. I'm not sure.
So, didn't think that was a problem for Taylor.
I know, right? She sells enough.
Hell do I know?
I don't know if it's an ego thing. It's like,
I think it's
okay,
an
well,
ego
you
thing.
sold 58 million last year, and this year you sold 28 million. Oh, it's because everybody stole it. It's like, still,
It's
you
an
sold
interesting
28 million
theory.
records.
I
Like,
didn't think about it like that.
yeah, I don't know.
What if that is it?
We noticed the change pretty strongly. You know what I mean? Now, like, we're on Hopeless, and now labels are so excited when you sell like your first week. Oh my God, they sold 12,000 records the first week, and that's like
For them, that's a
like,
big deal.
And that's so funny to think that's like a big deal because
an album, like I'll label like Reprise, like they're like, you
Yeah,
gotta
exactly.
step it up.
well, no, even Reprise, they like it changed because back in the beginning it was like, oh man, you guys sold 200,000 the first week. You know what I mean? And then the next year it'd be like, oh, you sold 150,000 the next week. It was still one of the best records ever. It got on the top charts. Next couple of years later, oh, you guys sold 58,000 records last week. Still way up on the charts. Next record, and you know what I mean. Certain records are still doing as good. It's just nobody's buying them, and now it's come down to the point where it's like, yeah, you guys sold 12,000 records the first week, and you're like number one, and so it's like, well, we don't care because we don't give a shit. Honestly, we just want people to come to the shows. We just want people to be excited about the music.
Have they been? Has it been a good tour?
These shows have been out of control. I can't tell you how awesome they've been. I guess I can. They're awesome.
Oh, you can
I am.
We'll spread them for you. And do you think it's like, are you seeing like familiar faces out there? Are you seeing a mixture? Are you seeing mostly new faces?
You know, it's crazy. We have the same diehard fans that come to all of our shows no matter what. And I try to recognize all of them, but I recognize most of them, you know. But then we have like a lot of new fans that will come out at shows, and I'll meet them occasionally. And this tour has been a lot of like the older fans that just got busy in life, you know what I mean? Like life kind of took them and they're doing their own thing.
And they were like, oh yeah.
Like, oh yeah, I remember, I want to see this record again. And so they come out to see these. And so we have a mix of all three of those now, you know, which is really exciting.
It's freaking badass. Tonight is In Love and Death, right? So that album actually had a cover of Under Pressure on it. We lost Bowie this year, so how would you summarize like his influence on your music?
Oh man, I wish we were playing that tonight. We're not.
Yeah, you have to have another singer. Maybe the other band.
We
You have an opener, right?
Because that wasn't on the original release. That was on
That was, I think you added
later
it.
on. Yeah.
After
There was a
the
fight about that too. It almost didn't get released.
Oh, because it was supposed to be for charity, I think was the issue.
Long story short, it was actually, I don't even want to tell you about it that much, but
It's okay.
it wasn't
It's out
like
there.
Cam's issue. I think it had something to do with their management.
Their management were being dicks.
It was, you know, one of those things. They wanted to do something, we wanted to do something. We wanted to release it on both of ours. We wanted it to be like a full thing for all of us, and
Didn't quite work.
yeah, I don't really know how that worked out. But so we're like, well, fuck, we'll release it then, whatever, you know. But anyway, we're not playing that, unfortunately. And Bowie, huge influence on Bert, especially. Bert had a dog named David Bowie.
Oh,
like,
nice!
Yeah,
Oh,
who
look at a
died
dog.
too. Actually, he got hit by a car during the In Love and Death recording, which is
Oh.
crazy.
Kind of poetic justice.
It's pretty crazy. And All That I've Got actually started out to be about his dog being hit.
Aww. We'll get a
But then it
dog
turned
lesson.
into something more serious later, which you'll probably tell tonight on stage. But
Well, Bert went through some shit during the production of this particular album.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it still emotional to play these songs?
Oh, definitely. That's why we don't play most of them. Like, at these first two records, actually. Yeah, well, the song name's right here.
I
Perfect.
did.
I'll tell you
I
right
helped you
now.
out. Look at that.
Actually, God, well, the first record we played every song before. Ooh, Just a Little. That was an awesome song too. We don't play that one.
That's your cut. That was the deep cut,
B-side.
right?
Yeah. So everything on the first record we played before, but not after the second record came out. You know, this is mostly like the demo stuff we would play, and then when we recorded it, some of it made it a little hard for us to not play live, but maybe it's just too much to play live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And plus, we're touring so much, and Bert was screaming so much.
Oh,
that
Bert went through
sometimes
some
his voice
crap
was
with
kind
his
of just,
throat.
yeah, it was just so hard for him to try to sing those high notes and scream all that stuff at the same time. So we kind of cut some of those out over time. And in Love and Death, I mean, besides this tour, we've never played, Let It Bleed we played one time.
That's it?
One time before this tour. Cut Up Angels we've never played before besides this tour.
Oh, wow.
Yesterday's Feelings we played, not as a full band, it's only been acoustic. Light with a Sharpened Edge, I think maybe we played twice.
So you probably forgot the songs.
Yeah.
You
It's,
never learned them.
You wouldn't believe how easy it is to forget these
That's
songs.
what I keep hearing.
So the cool thing about this is, so Justin, So Justin, our new guitar player, has
Yep.
never played any of these songs live. You know what I mean? And Dan, our drummer, hasn't played
Most
most of them
those.
either. So it was really cool since we're all going back at it. All three of us sort of